Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And today we're going to spotlight a ceremony, a celebratory ceremony that I did not know existed. Okay, and it's the concept of badge bending. I could go into a brief description, but this video is kind of lengthy and it's going to explain the concept of badge bending and how this concept has been catapulted into the spotlight by the mainstream media. So we're going to let this video play and we'll get some scripture.
This cop sued his Los Angeles department for $1 million and won because he didn't want to unalive black and brown people to get initiated into a police gang.
After being fired from the Vallejo Police Department, former Captain John Whitney says he now feels some vindication and a lot of emotions.
I'm sorry,
Whitney and his attorney Jamie Walker of William Ivory say Tuesday night the city council voted to approve a nearly $1 million settlement to Whitney's whistleblower lawsuit. Whitney says he was fired for reporting unethical and corrupt behavior within the Vallejo Police Department, including badge bending. Officers had been bending down the corners of their badges following shootings.
Bootlickers always try to convince me in the comment section that it's not all cops, and I mean, it's like, I know, I believe you, but what are you kind of left with when all the good cops are either getting fired or worse? Because that's what happened to John Whitney. He tried to report his fellow officers for unaliving unarmed people and then bending their badges, and he got fired. Forget this. Endangering the lives of his fellow officer, as in like him ratting other bad cops out going through a gang initiation was endangering their lives, so they fired him.
Walker says the settlement sends a clear message. Vallejo fired a whistleblower.
You don't pay nearly $1 million when you did the right thing.
At issue has been the intention behind badge bending, which I discussed with both sides last year.
These officers were celebrating in a gang-like ritualistic fashion the murder and death of black and brown people in the city of Vallejo.
This isn't really a secret, by the way. I mean, like, everybody knows what it means when a cop bends a star on their badge. I mean, it's, like, well-documented history at this point for the last decade. I mean, at the height of the BLM protests, we were tracking over 50 different LASD gangs operating in the greater Los Angeles area doing the exact same shit. Oh, by the way, this is the cute version of the map tracking all the cop gang activity, by the way, because, like, their actual symbols have Yahtzee signs. This is the real map, and if you scroll down to the affiliations and how many people are involved, like, you'd be scrolling for, like, at least a minute. Actually, I'll do it for you just to prove a point of how many police officers on the West Coast are involved in a police gang. Yeah, it keeps going. It doesn't stop.
Now to an Eyewitness News investigation. An alleged gang of sheriff's deputies within the LA County Sheriff's Department known as the Executioners. Their alleged tattoo depicts a skeleton in flames, an AK-47, and a Nazi-style helmet.
If the local news media is doing a story about Yahtzees operating in police gangs 3 years ago, then, like, the logical question is, how the hell do all these officers still have their jobs?
Judges blocked the LA County Watchdogs investigation into deputy gangs and their tattoos, at least for now. The Union for Sheriff Deputies filed a lawsuit after the Inspector General ordered 35 deputies suspected of being banditos or executioners to answer questions about deputy gangs and show their tattoos. In his ruling, the judge found that the county is required to bargain with the union before making significant changes to their employment, such as being forced to show their tattoos.
There's only one union I'll never support in this country, and that is the police union. Like, just take a step back and think about it for a second. The judge, sitting on top of a courtroom, told all the taxpayers that had to pay for that $1 million lawsuit to John Whitney, he just told you guys, I can't do anything about Yahtzees being cops because it's a labor issue, and you have to negotiate with the union. Not them, like, no criminal, like, not even, it's just, hey, you taxpayers have to get together and negotiate with this thing that can arrest you. This cop's
Reminds me of that movie Gangs in New York, all right, where you had the politicians use the police who are gangs, and then you had gangs within the gang. Man, I tell you, man, this devil is really something. All right. Not that this surprises me. at least. I mean, I knew of gangs within police departments, but as far as this ceremony is concerned, this is something that I didn't know about. Like I said, I'm sure other cities around the United States have a ceremony which they glorify doing this, but it may not be necessarily badge bending. It might be they all might wear a black heart or a red heart, or I don't know. But I'm sure many police departments across the United States have a ceremony where they celebrate the cold, calculated, merciless, and unnecessary killing of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And see, this just goes to show for you Jakes out there that regardless of what you perceive might be the truth of so-called protecting and serve, hey, their whole agenda is still the same as it was back in the days of hardcore slavery, because we're still in slavery, but I'll just say hardcore slavery, where it was to monitor you, to patrol you, to capture you, and in some cases put you to death. All right, the game has not changed. It has merely been slightly modified. Okay, you Jakes are still the main focus and target of being harassed, oppressed, and just killed, just outright, much say murdered. Well, probably killed in some cases, but that you all are still the prime target. Okay, you are the goal. You are what these commissioners, these judges, these unions, these aldermen, and these mayors, you all are the main focus of a lot of their meetings. How do we continue to enforce draconian law on these Israelites, these so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans? How do we continue to basically make their lives a living hell? And see, this just goes to show in Jeremiah 50 and 33, it says, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together," because we're all here in America. Pretty much all 12 tribes of Israel are here in America. All right, and we're being oppressed together. He just said that these police are targeting you so-called blacks and Hispanics. You all are oppressed together. It says, "And all that took them captives held them fast." That's all the nations, but especially bad Uncle Esau. And I went to go check just to make sure that he was telling the truth. And sure enough, he is. LASD records, databases of known associates of deputy gangs in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and deputy show 1984 to current. And I clicked on LASD gang affiliates. He was right. Little devils. And I'm looking at some of these names, and it's like the scripture says, you know, out of Israel, they came out of Israel certain wicked men. All right, all these names on here, they're not all Edomites. All right, little devils, executioners. Jamie Juarez, executioners, 3,000 boys, Spartans. All right, as I said, not all of these are Edomites. So you even have our own people. Jump out boys. These names. You even have our own people going out in league with this damn devil, putting to death their own people. Vikings. What's the one that I saw? It was called Wayside Whiteys. Yep, here it is. Wayside Whiteys. All right, that's enough of that madness. But yeah, you even got some of our own people putting us to death, all so they could fit in with this devil. Because they want to feel accepted. They want to belong. That's why the scripture says, though hand join hand, they shall not go together unpunished. Hey, man, you sell out Jakes out there that are in league with this devil to help further the affliction of your people. Hey, the Lord has a special judgment for you all. A very special judgment for you all. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to kill you niggas. You keep messing around and thinking it's sweet when the scripture clearly tells you never trust thy enemy. As iron rusted, so to his wickedness. All right? You devils, as the scripture said, are going to be pricked therewith. And I want to mean devils in this situation, but this what I'm just saying right now, that last statement, I'm talking about you wicked ass people of ours. You niggas are wicked. All right? But we going to get back to bad uncle. We'll get back on the bad uncle Esau now. Okay? And it says they took them captives, held them fast. They refused to let them go. All right? These guys are not giving us any rest whatsoever. And see, this reminds me of, we go to Nahum, I think it's 3. All right. It says, woe to the bloody city. All right. What's the most bloodiest city? Babylon the snake, aka America. It said it is full of lies and robbery. All right. We just watched this video where these guys have definitely profited off of lies. Because that list said from 1984, all right, and it's just now getting the recognition that it truly deserves a couple of years ago, which goes to show you that this has been prospering because somebody's been covering up for them. And he gave the example of the one judge that's talking about, well, you know, I got to block this because it's going to be a safety hazard for police officers. Basically, if you translate that, you put that in through the bullshit filter. All right. Basically, this judge is talking about, I don't want to allow this law or this, whatever this request the people have to pass, because now that's going to put a target on the police officers' back that have been going years and years and years without recompense. It's going to put a target on their back for people to destroy them. All right. It says in robbery, because these folks, these bad Uncle Esau and these wicked niggas of our people, all right, you are robbing families of memories, of future memories. You are robbing families of lives, okay, that were or had the potential to flourish. Okay, you robbed families of sons, families of daughters, families of husbands, of wives, of grandmothers, of cousins, of nieces, of two people who could have potentially formed a family and tried to do well for themselves. All right, you damn devils have robbed a lot of people. and you've robbed a lot of people of truth and justice, because you've had wicked and corrupt judges like the one that we just heard about in this video, covering up for you damn demons. And it says the prey departeth not, as we just read in that Jeremiah. They're both held captive. They refuse to let them go. We cannot escape this devil. We are in one big prison playground of bad Uncle Esau's. And he has the liberty to go around and do whatever the hell he wants to do without recompense. It doesn't matter how much money we get. It doesn't matter how much we try to fit in, blend in, talk like him, walk like him, dress like him, have his mannerisms. Okay, adopt his way of eating and thinking. It does not matter. We are getting slaughtered all day long. It says the noise of the whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. All right. You can equate that to the modern day police car. The sirens, the screeching of the tires. Okay, the sound of the whoosh when that car goes flying past you. That's what we have. It says the horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. That's his gun, his assault rifles. And it says, and there is a multitude of slain. That's our people. All right. Our people our people have been the object of great wrath as it pertains to this devil and the wicked of our people. All right. When you look at all these old books with the police and Jake in like the 1950s and 60s, man, our bodies were all laid out across the streets in this United States. Brutally murdered. For no damn reason other than the fact that we're Israelites and you got wicked ass niggas of our nation trying to fit in, and you got bad Uncle Esau, who's just being bad Uncle Esau. All right, he's the damn devil. All right. And it says, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. There is none end because it still continues to happen to this day. There's not a day where you can turn on the TV or get on your cell phone and go to YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or what's the one, Citizen app. There's not one day you can get on any one of those devices or social media sites and not hear about some unrighteous dealing that involves the police and the average everyday citizen. This is what we have going on in Babylon the Snake. A bunch of devils running loose, wreaking havoc, all because they want to and they power tripping. Okay, that's why it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, how it talks about Wisdom of Solomon 2:10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. Might makes right. We got our rules and our law on our side to dictate what will be right and what will be wrong. And if you actually catch us up in our lie, we're going to manipulate the law again to fit us to where we go scot-free and you still don't get any justice or recompense. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. And that's how bad Uncle Esau, these other nations, and the wicked niggas of our nation of people look at us as a whole. All right? Feeble, weak, merely a thing to pass up to time, merely a thing to joke about when everybody's out at the bar getting drinks. Yeah, you saw what I did to Josefina? Yeah. I had her pinned down, and Rodrigo over there, he had Jose on the ground with his knee in his face. And we justified it by doing some type of wickedness. You know, you're just a joke, a pastime at the bar, something that they will always remember. Your pain is their joy at your expense. Okay, this is why we need deliverance out of here. We are a prey and we depart if not. This is why the Lord has to come get us. This is why we have to be delivered. This is why we cannot deliver ourselves. There's way too much going on for us to be able to get out this jam on our own. We need the Lord. So there's a whole lot more I could say, but, you know, I believe this went on a little bit long enough. But nonetheless, I hope you all were edified. Until the next time, we're going to say Shalom.